is the Nukie bomb.
Yes, Nukie
and
bomb.
The new.
Saying that for 12 weeks.
Yeah. And he's still got the black eyes. Look at that. This is proper podcasting. Brad Paul's the new British middleweight champion. First from Cornwall since 1939. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's been 85 years of hurt for my Cornish people. Didn't come home last week, but I came home this week. All right.
Well done. Well done. How does it feel to win the British title?
Yes, it's very satisfying. Like I've scratched an itch, especially the sort of how it happened. Obviously, the first time was a little bit controversial, and George, you would know about getting it after a few attempts. Probably makes it a bit sweeter when you eventually get there. You did 4, I did on my second, but yeah, it was just everything I dreamed of and I've talked about it for years. The trifecta of domestic titles, the Southern area. The English, which obviously I spoke to you two after I lost at the first attempt there. And then the British, finally. So, yeah, long time coming. I've boxed for 21 years and I've been pro for almost 9. Wasn't an overnight success. I had to keep slugging away. And I got here in the end, finally.
How was how pleasing was it to do it in that sort of fashion as well? Because 12 rounds stoppage, they're so dramatic anyway. And we were just talking before you came on. We're not sure exactly what the cards were saying. Were you up on the cards? It wasn't like a smash and grab. You would, if it had gone the distance, you were getting the decision anyway.
Yeah. So I've seen one of the judges in the hotel, and I think there was all the same. Actually, they had only 4 or 5 up at the time.
Okay, yeah.
And my corner told me just before the 12, it's close, so don't leave it to the judges if you can. I think I might have hurt him in the 11th, and he was, I guess, a little bit hurt in the 12th. So I seen he was there for the taking. And if you can not leave it to the judges, don't leave it to the judges, I suppose. It takes all the doubt out of the question, especially after the last time. So, yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah, it really was. And that stoppage, I don't know. We were just chatting here. I thought that Nathan had started quite well. And he was doing quite well in the first couple of rounds. How were you feeling? And obviously you dropped him in the 4th, but it was like, okay, he's got a clear game plan, and it's just try and keep you away from him, basically, and try and win this on points. Yeah,
I think he started a lot better than he did in the first fight. He really had the bit between his teeth, which was sort of showing on fight week. He had a bit more aggression and he had a bit more about him. And yeah, I'd say he'd improved from the last fight, but I just had to be 1 or 2% better as well. So I knew at some point I would get to him. At some point I was going to get to Nathan. I didn't think it would come as early as the 4th. That was just more good timing. But I know I'd get to him later on. And just happened.
Yeah. So what you feeling in that 4th round? He goes down. Is there a feeling of, oh, I'm nearly here now. This is nearly done, or is it like, no, stay switched on. Still got 7 and a bit rounds to go?
Yeah, more keeping the composure, because I know Nathan's been down before and got up, and he's quite a sort of durable guy, and I didn't want to go gung-ho and empty the tank on him in the 4th. So long left in the fight, 12, 6-7 rounds to go. So, yeah, you've probably thrown a shot like it, George, where you don't throw it like your absolute hardest with the intent to knock him out. It's quite sort of a smoother one. Sort of less effort.
Goes through the target, yeah.
Quite sort of surprised he went down. And I was like, okay, that's going to help my game plan come in a little bit faster. That's going to put a dent in him sooner. So,
mate, jump up now. Show us on the camera. You got enough room?
Not really.
Show us how that shot goes in. No, not yet.
Funny enough, actually, it's the same shot you caught me with, George, back in 2018. It was off of a lazy jab. So I pull in and then time the right, boom, over the top. And Nath was throwing a right uppercut.
Yeah.
Up round. But I didn't throw it too hard. It was just smooth. And he comes square onto it. So, yeah, a nice shot, and then just sped up the plan we had going anyway. So it's good.
Is that the one? Is that the one you got him with in sparring, George? Slipped outside the jab, right hand over the top.
No, he gave it to me, man. It was my last spar. I think I can't remember what camp. It might have been Eubank camp or one of the camps. And
Eubank,
he gave it to me. He was like, I thought I needed a confidence booster, so he took a dive for us. But I appreciate you, Mr. Pauls. It worked. It worked a treat.
Great shot.
So we're talking Monday morning here. Talk us through the last 36 hours or whatever. What's happened since you stepped out of that ring as British champion? What have you been up to?
I've turned all notifications off my phone because it's hectic, really hectic.
What were the notifications? Was it like your Ocado delivery?
Deliveroo.
Yeah. Deliveroo.
It's got out. Yeah, it's gone. But yeah, I'll get through the messages and stuff. I've just been spending a bit of time with my family. I just seen a nephew that was born at the start of the month and ate some nice food at my sponsors and stuff. But it's more this week. It's all the media stuff, and I've got Talk Sport later and BB's local news coming down. And yeah, it's not really a week off, to be honest. It's quite hectic.
No, but that's the sign of a good performance. You always want to budget a week after the fight to clean up, to mop up the victory and build for the future. So I mean, you're only 36 hours in to what's next, but have you thought about it already? Is there a plan? Is there?
Yeah, we've had little chats about it. I went and seen Nathan in the change room after the fight, and the first thing he said, honour the rematch, like he did for me. And I said, absolutely, it's the right thing to do. He gave me another chance, and I'll do exactly the same for him. So I guess it's going to be round 25 by the end of the year. Going to be absolutely sick of the sight of each other. But if he wants the rematch, I will happily oblige. I feel that's a good fight and the right thing to do. So we'll see what the teams come up with.
That Nathan, obviously, when Nathan won the British title, he came in to see us that week, and it's one of them where this is the time to capitalise on it. And Paddy Hobbs, your man, he's the man at getting you all over the shop. But you're going to be busy, aren't you, this week, getting your face out there and showing everyone the belt.
Yeah, it's good, and people are going to be sick of the sight of it. Because I'm taking the belt on tour around Cornwall to go to every amateur club, every bar, restaurant, anywhere I can have a photo taken in. It's going, because who knows when it's going to come back here. It hasn't happened for 85 years. It might not happen for another 90. So enjoy it whilst it's here. It's a good problem to have, all these interviews.
Brad, just one quick question as well. Before we came on, we've been worried about sharks, hammerhead sharks in particular. And obviously you being down on the coast, the Nukie bomb. Do you ever get to see any hammerhead sharks out and about?
Yeah, do they still exist?
In general? Yeah.
Not a hammerhead. We have basking sharks, not a basking shark.
Yeah, they're harmless, aren't they?
They're harmless, yeah. So that's
all sharks are harmless. They got fins, Dick.
Hey, not those fucking street sharks with the bicep.
Yeah.
You get basket sharks. You ever seen one?
Yeah, they're massive. They just wouldn't hurt you, but nothing would really hurt you down here. You're pretty safe. So get in the.
Yeah, you're a bit younger than us, Brad. But yeah, when we were kids, hammerhead sharks, they were all the talk of the town, and tiger sharks. You just don't, no one cares about the hammerhead shark anymore. I think we should bring it back. And I don't want to take credit. We don't want to take credit on this podcast, but obviously you got in touch.
Yeah, to take all the credit from me.
Yeah. So that
kids. Be honest.
Yeah. How was it? So that was 2023 February, the Tyler Denny fight, right?
Yeah.
And you were just at a bit of a loss there. You were like, what do I do? Like, what do I do here? How do I bounce back from this?
Yeah, it was a really strange one. I hadn't lost a fight in almost 10 years, and then I did, and I had to. It was really difficult to take. I needed any advice I could get. I know George would have some good advice. Obviously, he's been in a very similar situation, and whatever I've done from the Denny fight, I feel has worked. Whatever you've said in that episode has worked. Need improvements. I will give you some credit. But I did, and people say it all the time, like, oh, it's a blessing in disguise. But I went away after that fight and I changed loads of stuff. I've got a nutritionist, I've got a mindset coach, but I really doubled down with everything that I was doing and invested in it, and just made everything a little bit better in camp. So, yeah, I think the Brad that fought Denny wouldn't have beat Heaney. So it's something that happened for me. and the experience of the game was brilliant. So yeah, it's how it goes.
Mm. And
well done, Brad.
Look what you've turned me into. All thanks to I was
British
English. If it wasn't for you guys.
Okay, well, can we cut that? We'll cut that up for socials. And obviously, there's no such thing as a good defeat, but the Tyler Denny defeat now, like, no one can beat him. Would you like another crack at Tyler Denny?
Happily, I'll take that fight. I think it'd be interesting. I feel Tyler's improved quite a bit, and fair play to him. He's done very well. He's a very good fighter, but I have definitely also improved a lot. So I think a rematch would be really interesting. A British versus a European champ. So definitely one to take in the future, but at the moment, I think he needs the fairest crack of the whip. I think it's the right thing to do, but it's a stacked division, the middleweights. There's so many good fights out there. So, yeah, see what happens, but definitely.
And Brad, you brought the belt back to Cornwall. Is there a venue there where you can bring the big nights down to, where we can get that, or is it just going to be on the beach at the Shake Shack?
Battle on the beach. I've had this problem before. There doesn't have the right hospital close enough.
Cornwall. Oh, yeah. You told us that.
Yes. It's a bit of a...
He was going to build a hospital, weren't we? That was the plan.
Yeah, shit.
We'll have to hospital. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to... If you get 2 helicopters at the show and they can make it to the closest hospital faster enough.
Yeah.
Then... So
that's an idea.
Something. If he could lend us one, we'll stick it next to the beach. It's really difficult to set up, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, carbon footprints be a bit big for that, though, isn't it? Just 2 helicopters hovering over the...
It's not good for the hammerhead sharks, is it?
No, it's basket sharks who shit themselves. Well, maybe one day. I mean, maybe that's the next dream. You spoke it into existence, British champion. You know, Tyler Denny could be an opportunity for a European title. Obviously, he's got a big fight against Hamza Shiraz. What do you think happens in that fight?
It's going to be close. I actually favour Denny a little bit, not because he beat me. He's a really difficult person to look good against, Denny. He's a very small target and he moves all the time. He knows how to rough you up. Don't think Hamza's boxed anyone like Denny. So I do slightly lean towards Denny, but it's, great fight. Well,
Brad Pauls, we'll let you get back to your busy week of interviews. Obviously, did the most important one first thing with your 2 black eyes.
So thanks, guys.
Is it? Yep. Yes. Thanks for your time, mate, and the new British middleweight champion.
Thanks for having me.
Woo!
Thanks, Brad.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.